Well, hello everyone. It's like you're talking about is like talk cheat codes. You say coloring right here is that it's like for the talk for talk cheat codes. It's like also known as for talk for the talk take turns. It is and knowing about that you have right here is that you got right here is the coloring right here is I went ahead and included. It's like with the pilot. It is that with the pilot, and then of course it was the helicopter. It is, and if most of us are familiar with like what you call is like that if we were played the game, it's like Grand Theft Auto, 3, and of course Vice City, and of course with San Andreas, and of course the Liberty City stories and Vice City stories, and of course those other games, of course, that they came out with. You say Rockstar Games, it is. But anyway, is talking about right here is I went ahead and included the details right here. They say is that I can remember whenever I played Grand Theft Auto 4. Whenever I played Grand Theft Auto 3, it was that I can remember that I you want to fly. You say you want to check out. It's like knowing about you can get into the cars and of course drive around with the cars and take cars and of course, at the time that I played, I remember getting into the fire truck, driving the fire truck, and of course, I remember, driving the ambulance, and of course, with the taxi cabs, it is, driving the taxi cabs, and I can remember that knowing about it, it's like you take a taxi cab, it's like what are you doing? That is my car, you crazy guy. But like you crazy guy. But other than that, is knowing about this that with Grand Theft Auto, Vice City, it is, and just knowing about that. There a lot of times it's like whenever you say whenever carjack is somebody, it's like knowing about you whatever they say about, and I was like an old man and not again. But other than that is that whenever if you were to be playing the game, it is, and just knowing about the types of things that you normally see. And one of the things, of course, is about is the cheat codes. It is, and most of us go ahead and get this blue crayon right here. But anyway, and most of us that I can remember that whenever Grand Theft Auto Vice City first came out, it's like whenever it first came to the stores, shelves, it was that I can remember that I seen advertised that you can actually fly a helicopter. It was, and whenever I first started playing the game, is some people probably were saying that well, the game's alright. Well, hey, you can steal, you can take steal motorcycles, and of course steal you say steal boats and stuff like that. The new things that you can take. But on the other hand too, as so far as take turns cheat codes, it is like with the helicopter, it is. And I can remember that whenever I first played the game, it was that I can remember that wanted to fly a helicopter, and it took completing some of the missions. It was on being able to fly a helicopter. It was, and of course had gotten the cheat codes. It was, I can remember getting the cheat codes to be able to get all the say the weapons, and of course is knowing about, it's like one of the cheat codes, of course, was to get a tank, and then of course have your car drive on water. It was, and I don't even if I can remember all the cheat codes. It was that I don't even know icon on Vice City. It was, if I can remember right, that you can walk into the police station. It was walk into the police stations and take the armor, steal the armor that the police had there at the station. Of course, I can remember that you walk in there, and then you walk at a certain point, and then they start shooting at you, stuff like that. But other than that, is knowing about is that the things that of course talking about is like what I can do is like you got right here is the picture right here is knowing about you got right here is a guy coming down, say from the SWAT team or something like that, coming down from the rope. It is, and like the main character, it's like Tommy, it is will be, it's like he would from what I talked from that other video I posted, it's like he would have something in his hand that they always like put in his pocket, and be able to climb up the rope. It was, and a lot of times we probably thinking about that special trick of how to climb up the rope. It is, but on the other hand too, that you'll be able to climb up the rope and then hop into, say, the police helicopter. It is, but just knowing about that for the Take Turns cheat code is like, I think about it, it's like really, if it's kind of a joke, because on the other hand too, that knowing about is like that, hey, the whole part about, of course, about the game is like you take it and then you steal, if you steal cars and buses or whatever, then you don't give them back. You can just drive around the city with them and wreck them and burn them or smash them up, whatever it is. But on the other hand too, that knowing about is like stirring up, causing issues, you say, with the police, with the cops. But on the other hand too, that knowing about is that that I can remember that whenever I played that, you say, Grand Theft Auto is like 3, it was, that I can remember the police chopper, being like, it's like, we have you surrounded, we're gonna kill you. You can't say that. It's not in the book. Or it goes like that. I warned her. That's like about in the game. It was like have you gonna ring me over this thing? You stop. You stop right now. That's an order. But other than that, it's like knowing about that the types of voices, knowing about that. I wonder if like later on that they'll have it to where if you can get like on the PlayStation Live or anything like that and program to knowing about like the police chopper is like that they would say something like what you call it's like hey, that's my bagel. You get your own lunch. Hey, there's my bagel. But other than that, like knowing about hey man, I'm having problems, trying to gear the shift, the gear it is, and then like talking about it's like you're the gear shift, and hey man, I lost, I'm out of focus on my angle. But other than that, knowing about is like that the types of memories that we can picture, like talking about, it's like right here, it's like with the pilot, it is that knowing about if you could actually get into the helicopter, and then of course get into the pilot seat, to say the helicopter it is, and just knowing about that drive, if you were to fly it, it's like almost anywhere. And then knowing about with me that I can remember whenever I first played the game, that I was like wondering, it's like you're going from a rooftop to rooftop and driving around. It's like after you complete the mission of you're going from that mission, I think it was called staying island close or something, something like that. That there was one mission that you had to complete in order to be able to unlock a certain part of the whole city of Vice City it was. And I can remember driving around just knowing about it. It's like on the top of the police station that they usually keep a police helicopter up there to be able to take, and of course it's like you'll be able to fly it around. And I can remember that not the police helicopter, but I can remember getting into the another there was like maybe 6 or 7 different helicopters you can fly during the gameplay. It was, it's like I can remember the Sparrow, I think, or something like that. You can actually buy properties and stuff like that on the game it is, and when you'll be able to come with the garage and the place where you can where you can get recharged points and stuff like that, and body armor, stuff like that. But on the other hand too, that knowing about is that whenever I first started I would save my game, of course, and then knowing about that at least until I was able to get the Hunter, it was the Hunter military helicopter. But on the other hand too, that knowing about is like with the game, it was that I can remember that getting into the helicopter, and of course there would be the radio that it would be playing. And I can remember it's like one of them was like Emotions. It's like the Emotions soft rock station it was. And but on the other hand too, that knowing about it's like with the flying around with the helicopter. And I can remember flying the helicopter around and be collecting hidden packages and stuff like that. Knowing about that was my way of finding the packages on the game it was. But on the other hand too, that knowing about was with Tommy's like the main character is knowing about that I always wondered, it's like that the main character, it's like he can run fast, but then of course he can't swim, and maybe that he can't really jump very far it is. And and just knowing about that if he can actually climb ladders and climb ropes and stuff like that. But on the other hand too, that knowing about it's like you'll be driving say a tank, you say around the city it is, and just be it's like you're stepping on the gas it is, and you say of the tank, and then you should be driving around, and then knocking other cars off the road it is, and then of course it's like waiting for the police to come at you. I can remember whenever I would start the game it is, a lot of times it's like I go walk up to a cop and punch him in the face or something like that, and it's like I am the officer of the law. But other than that, knowing about it is like besides the game, the guns, and then of course the weapon, and of course what you can do about it's like knowing about hanging out and say with the hot women or whatever you call it, and of course robbing banks and stuff like that, stealing and robbing and stuff like that. But I really think that the whole purpose about the game, of course, to say it was having fun, and really what do you learn really whenever you do play the game? It's like knowing about that the type of experience about knowing about whenever you fly a helicopter it is, and just knowing about the types of things that you normally see. It's like for in the game it is knowing about that type of things that you were not able to do, or from the other game it was from the previous episodes of version of GTA it was. But on the other hand too, that knowing about is nowadays that since they got live and stuff, Xbox and PlayStation, of course, and the Wii Live it is, that more likely they could probably think about that there's quite a few more than just 3 players to say on playing the game with you it is. But on the other hand too, that knowing about that really that if there's a thing or that you can maybe trade messages or maybe make phone calls, it's like knowing about is like that hey, like we each have a helicopter, man. It's like how about you meet me over there at Staten Island or something like that. It's like, or like get have it to where you can get a job where you be flying a helicopter and then answering the radio calls. I can we forward the base. Hey, we got suspected a criminal up there on 40th Avenue. But other than that, knowing about this, like other than that, is like talking about it, it's like talks is like taking a turn, for the cheat codes and so far as the Vice City coloring.